This was the body from my floating Max for 2022. If you haven't seen that video, I'll have the link in the description. Of course, I made this 6.5 foot moon. I've got a spare bicycle. This body needs something done with it. I've got a mannequin head. I've got a milk crate. I've got some gray cloth, some white cloth. If you grew up in the 80s, you might know what I am making for this 2023 Halloween. If you said E.T., oh yes, that's what I'm making. The famous scene where Elliot and E.T. flies in front of the moon, that is going to be out in front of my house for 2023 Halloween. Let's get into this. The very first thing I'm gonna tackle is the bike. In the movie, the bike is red and white, so I'm gonna tape off a couple of spots and get this thing shot with a quick coat of red and white spray paint. I do have a milk crate that I've gotta paint white, get that attached to the front, and that will be the bike complete. If you don't have a bike and you wanna do this, you could go get some PVC from the home store and just kind of make that frame right there with the PVC, do some forks and a bar across for handlebars. Then you could get some PVC hot and bend it into a circle, and then you could just get a foam noodle and glue it around the PVC, and that'll look like your tires and wheels. So if you don't have a bike or can't find one, that's an option. Also look around for junkyards, scrap yards, recycling places. A lot of the times they get bicycles and you can get them for like $5. So check that out first. This will be the very first thing I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna come over here to this body, get a head on it, and get this thing looking like Elliot. He wears a gray hoodie with a gray kind of blanket draped over him with a backpack, and he has white Nikes. It's a white shoe with a red Nike swoosh on it. So I'm gonna have to address the shoes, get the head and the torso done, and then I'll get that attached on the bike. So you don't need to take the bike apart. You can just use newspaper and tape if you want. I just went ahead and took everything apart. It's really easy. The tires come off. I deleted the chain, deleted all of the brake assembly. Don't need any of that, just to lower some weight. And got all the stickers off of here, sanded it real quickly. You don't have to do that either. I'm gonna paint the whole thing red and then come back, tape off, and do the little white spots. The forks down by the tires, those are red, so I just went ahead and painted those red. I got the handlebars white. I do believe they're actually silver in the movie, but white's gonna be good enough for me. So go ahead and get your frame painted red, and we'll come back and tape it off. Okay, I've got all the red. I got the white parts and the silver parts all painted. Sorry about the background noise. I do have a fan going. The wheels are actually silver, so I went ahead and took them off. Well, I took the one off and got it silver right now. I've got some chicken wire here. I'm going to just kind of form up the shape of E.T. And I've got this E.T. mask that I got off of Amazon. The eye holes and the nose holes, I just put electrical tape over those to fill them up so nothing's going to come out of this. I'm going to fill this up with stuffing and go ahead and start building the body, get the head on top, and then wrap it with the white cloth like it should be. Then I can take everything out and go ahead and paint this white. So when you look at the pictures of E.T. on Elliot's bike, he sticks out of the milk crate about 1 1/4 times the height of the milk crate. So I'm just gonna come up to possibly right about here, which is just about the height of the chicken wire. So I'm just gonna undo this chicken wire, start forming it the best I can. Use some wire snips to snip it, kind of bend everything in, and then get the head on there. So I'm just gonna stuff it tight. It's a really good looking mask, actually. You could probably go through and do some kind of like a light dark wash on it and make it look better, but I think it's good for what I'm going for. I think that height is perfect. Just got to adjust the chicken wire here a little bit to get the head to sit on there nicely, and then wrap it with some kind of material. I really want his face kind of protruding from the front here, because that's how it kind of looks in the movie. So I think this shape is going to be pretty good. So I got a pillowcase here. I'm just gonna wrap it and see what it looks like. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of shape the chicken wire on the back a little bit and then get some better material to throw around ET and really get it set up looking good. Then I'll go ahead and pull it out and paint this milk crate white. You can see I've got more of a hump there in the back now. Went ahead and just split that pillowcase down the seam. I'm gonna wrap this around and give it a test look like that. So I need some material that's a little bit longer so I can kind of wrap it around better. But that's kind of the look I'm going for. I want it to match the movie as much as possible. I know in the movie it uses like a white quilt thing. I don't want to do that. It's just going to get too heavy getting wet. This is going to be outside for like 30 days most likely. So the lighter, the better for me. And it's still a pretty good effect, I think. Okay, I've got the bike frame all done. I went ahead and used the Cricut and put the Kuwahara stickers on there just to give it a little more effect. Got the Japan flag on there like it has. They did an edition bike of these to sell, and they actually put ET on the ones that they sold to the public, so I went ahead and threw that on there. Originally, this white actually fades into the red. Mine's a straight line, but if anybody picks that up when they're walking through my Halloween display, I'll give them an extra candy bar. So I'm gonna get this bike together, and then I still gotta paint that milk crate. Ooh, I got the bike done. Almost done. I got the sprocket on the wrong side here. I gotta flip that over. And I need to make the bracket for the milk crate coming up right here and get the milk crate painted and attached. Then the bike will officially be done, but I think it looks pretty good. Adding those graphics on there, I think totally did this thing justice. Really gives it that effect just like the movie. Come on, let me know what everybody thinks about this. Light up that comment section, at least for the bike. This scene from the movie was actually on Halloween in the movie, so I think it is perfect. I'm hoping this is gonna be the showstopper this year. I do have another big display that I'm gonna be working on, but this one is gonna be sweet in front of the moon. So I gotta get this little frame piece here built up on the front, get that milk crate attached. And my idea for that is a couple of broom handles from Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna flatten out a couple of spots and drill a hole, and I'll be able to mount it there and then take that up to the milk crate. I'll just flatten it. So those are just from the Dollar Tree. And I have the milk crate attached to the bike. I just gotta paint these poles right here. Those, like I said, are just broomsticks from the Dollar Tree. I just cut them down and I put a thin sheet of aluminum on there, screwed it to the milk crate, and then drilled some holes for the broomsticks to go through. And then just drilled some holes to go there. I still gotta paint those white. Still gotta make Elliot, which is gonna be fairly easy because I've already got the body from Max. Oh man, I am excited. All right, I had to rethink the Elliot body here. I did get some gray material for the backpack cover and a gray hoodie, but everybody seems to identify Elliot and E.T. with the red hoodie instead of the actual scene where he's wearing the gray hoodie with the gray blanket and the backpack underneath it. And I just kind of reconfigured the pool noodles for the legs, shortened the pool noodles for the arms, and I made the torso actually shorter. It was just too long of a torso for a little kid. So this is what I'm going with. If anybody has any questions on just making a pool noodle body, I just cut the pool noodles and then taped them in the angles that I wanted. That's it. It's just pool noodles all inside of here at the angles that I want. On the top here, I've just got a piece of plastic for the shoulders and some wire running through it for the arms with pool noodles on it. I got some fake hands that it's gonna slide down inside of here, and I'm just gonna secure that to the bike somehow, whether it's zip ties or some metal winding or something. But that's it. It's really simple. It's really, really light. It's just pool noodles and tape, and I put some stuffing in there. That's it. Okay, here on the shoes, I just used a couple of these little cable clamps and threw a couple screws in each one. Now for the butt, I just got a chunk of metal and zip tied it to the seat, and I've got this magnet that I'm gonna stick inside the pants, and that'll hold it right. That'll hold the butt of the guy right down to the seat. Elliot and E.T. are pretty much done, except for doing the cape with the backpack, adding the head, and then I just got to secure E.T. a little bit better. But at this point, we need to paint the face, and for the Halloween scene, he is basically like a zombie guy. His face is gray, and then he has red around the eyes. So I'm going to paint this all gray, red around the eyes, and then I will hit it with some clear spray paint just to lock in the color from the rain. I've got Elliot. It's the best I can get him without having a mannequin head that is not a kid. But I painted it just like the movie in the Halloween scene. And this is what he was for Halloween. He was like a zombie guy with like a little blood coming out of his eyes and his mouth right there. So I got the gray hoodie. I've got the gray material for the cape to put on here. I just need to finish securing the arms and the hands to the handlebars. So yeah, not too bad on the Elliot. I know he has like a strawberry blonde color hair in the movie, but most of it gets covered up by the hoodie. And all I had was a black wig, so that's what I used. Okay, for the Halloween scene, Elliot wears the classic Nike Cortez with the red swoosh. I'm just gonna use the shoes that I had from last year that I used on my floating Max decoration. So I'm just painted over this with this cheap white acrylic paint from Dollar Tree. And then I went over that with some Angelus cream. And then I went over that for the swoosh with some Angelus red. And I think that will work out just fine. Yes, I know it's not a Nike Cortez, but this is gonna work for the decoration I'm making. I looked for Nike Cortez at Goodwill and Salvation Army, couldn't find anything. The only thing I found close, they were asking like 30 bucks for them. I'm like, no thank you. These are just gonna be out in the weather, just getting beat up as a decoration. So this works just fine for me. I have these Angelus paints because I do custom shoes sometimes. These paints are pretty expensive. You can just use the acrylic paint from Dollar Tree and it works just fine. I'm just using what I have here. So that'll be the shoes. I got to get this one done. The inside, I'm just going off-white. I'm not even going to put the swoosh on the inside. You won't even see it. So there we go. Okay, the shoes are done. Everything is officially done other than those 2 black tubes that are going down from the milk crate to the front forks there. But I will get those painted. Right now, I just got it staked in the ground just to show this so I can wrap this part of the video up. But I think this came out really cool. It's actually gonna go right here. I'm gonna be hanging the moon up here on my house, and then this will be out in front of it. Probably about 2 to 3 feet in front of the moon, hanging up in the air. And I think it looks pretty cool. I think this is gonna get quite a bit of attention from the people in the neighborhood and the trick-or-treaters. Even if I left it like this, I think it looks pretty cool. That is Elliot and E.T. and the Kuwahara bike all done up. I put my heart into this one. Hopefully everybody likes this one and thinks this is cool. I'm an 80s kid. Well, I grew up in the 80s, and I love aliens, so this movie is very near and dear to me. Once I got the moon up there and this hanging in front of it, I think it's gonna look pretty cool, and I'll definitely have a video of that. But for now, let's get some fog going on this guy. And happy Halloween. I hope everybody likes this.